Hey all, Hibber here. So today we're looking at Surrey, and I don't think I've actually looked at this ship before on the channel, which is a mistake. And it's pretty much because in my previous Talon video, a lot of you wondered why I would think Surrey is better than Talon. And this is why. So I run an Agile build on Surrey, and it's perfect for that, I think. It is probably, in my opinion, the best cruiser at tier 6. And tier 6, as you all know, you know what I think about that when you play cruisers, and it is a really tough tier. Because as soon as you get up tier to tier 7, you are at a massive disadvantage. And down tiered to tier 5, you don't really have that much of an upper hand. I mean, Surrey versus Exeter, there's not much difference there. But Surrey versus Albemarle, well, it's a whole other world. So here, rudder shift 2.1 seconds. That's actually faster than the tier 7 Albemarle. So it's one of the fastest rudders at tier 6. The problem is, and that's pretty much the only downside to the ship here, it's the fact that it is slow. So I guess you can say in my setup I have both my inspirations are rudder inspirations. So I could put Müller on and probably squeeze another 1.5 knot out of the ship. But I'm not really sure it's honestly worth it. Because if you go 34 knots or 35 knots, that means very little. But if you go 39 knots versus 40 knots, that's a huge difference. So I have pretty much decided just to stick with rudder on the ship here, and then just accept the fact that it is slow. I guess we just have to. So HE is your friend in this ship here, because I believe the damage, the HE damage is 3300, I could be wrong, and the AP damage is about 1000 more. So yeah, I don't know. Really, I only use AP on this ship here when I am guaranteed a citadel. And that is difficult here because the ship tends to overpen quite a bit, just like Exeter. So HE really is the best choice. I will actually be using primarily AP in this battle here. It's a bit unusual, but this shows that the ship does well with either, but AP is a little bit lackluster compared to some of the other tier 6s, including Talon. Talon is much better at AP than this ship is. But on the other hand, this ship here is just much more well-rounded and actually has usable torpedoes. And very importantly, very importantly for Agile cruisers, it has heals. And with this build here, you get 3 heals. And at tier 6, I cannot underline how much that means. Anyway, look here how slow this ship is. I usually take this path here around the island so I can get in and cap A, and then hit the enemies in the flank from the other opening at A. And if I'm lucky, I can surprise a destroyer in here and take him out very quickly. That doesn't happen in this battle here though, but that's usually the case actually. So here we are, 5 minutes into the battle, and I haven't fired a single shot yet. I haven't actually done anything yet because there's no one at all on this flank here, which make you think that my teammates would be well ahead of me on XP at this point, and it would be impossible for me to catch up. But actually I end up being top 1 on the leaderboard for this battle here, which is a bit puzzling, I must admit that. But whatever. So here I am now able to cap as pretty much the only ship over here. There's a cruiser following me, but for some reason he's not following me in here. And that's also puzzling because staying right there in the opening, when there's clearly no destroyers trying to enter, that's just asking to get wiped by that battleship that's coming down. Yeah. So yeah, I don't completely get it, but I'm probably not meant to. It must be a tactic beyond my understanding. Let's say that. So anyway, the good thing about grabbing this cap here early is that you have, pretty much free access to the B cap. As soon as someone gets spotted in there, well, they're going to have a pretty bad time. So A lucky salvo there takes out the sole enemy destroyer, meaning that we have like a very marked advantage right now. And I'm just able to take this York out of the battle as well. A super kill steal there with my 6,000 damage here and 2 kills. But in the end, you'll see someone actually stealing my Kraken from me. So I guess it's all fair. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm shooting an awful lot of AP in this game here for a cruiser that I usually shoot HE in. And of course it is because there's only, how many? 2 battleships in this game here. 1 destroyer and 1 carrier, and the rest are cruisers. So that's why I try to keep AP loaded so I can punish the cruisers when they give me the opportunity. And with this North Carolina here, I'm not switching to HE because of that reason. I want to keep AP loaded in case some cruiser pops out somewhere and just gives me a very inviting broadside. And like a broadside battleship, you're going to do very nice damage with AP anyway. You're not going to get any fires, but this guy is so low anyway that fire doesn't really matter that much. And it's more important that I cap, which I am of course in the process of doing here along with the destroyer. And now the guy that followed me into A cap, he has sacrificed himself for that battleship over there. So that's what I mean by a strange tactic. So Surrey has a fast rudder, a small turning radius, pretty fast turret rotation, but it's slow. It's quite slow. And again, I just miss out on the kill on that North Carolina there. That would have been my Kraken later in the game, but yeah, just not meant to be. Like I said, Surrey is a very nice agile cruiser, especially at tier 6, but it is slow. It's very slow. Like when you're maneuvering here, like what I'm doing, you will be somewhere in the middle, like the mid-20s. So you're doing like 25 knots or something, and that's not very fast. So you need to plan your movements a little bit better than in the more fast agile cruisers. And here we have forced this London here to be broadside on to at least 1 battleship. And for some reason he still survives and is able to actually turn out. Puzzling. But we do get 2 citadels on him to make him reevaluate that. And this Atlanta here is also a lucky man, because there was a nice AP salvo there, but he just turns before it hits. So the Atlanta manages to take out the destroyer. He was a little bit too far ahead, I think, and in return he gets a nice citadel there. So the Atlanta is almost down, and I really need him out of the way because I can see the other 2 cruisers mobilizing to go in here and make life suck for me. And if you notice the Arizona here, he's shooting at the Atlanta that is clearly going to sink next time I get a salvo off. So it would have been better that he spent his salvos on the Leander there to take him out of the way. Because like I said before, now these 2 guys are going to try to catch me in a bad situation here, because I am in a bad situation. I can't kite anymore, I have a nasty island in front of me. And this London here that I citadel before, I'm sure he's out for revenge. And the land there is certainly focusing me. And this is like another puzzling thing. I mean, I have 3 battleships left on my team, and none of them seem to be shooting at these guys until they are at 1% health and ready to be picked off. And I stole kills. Or stole, I don't know, I took some kills earlier in this game that was also like on low health, but it's not like I was sitting there waiting. I have a bit of a suspicion here that this Arizona, all he's doing is just sitting there waiting for these cruisers to be low on health, and then he grabs the kill. And sure, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me because I get more XP from actually taking the hit points off them. But I mean, I could use the help here. So finally we have the Leander gone. That means that we can relax a little bit here, because I don't have to, guard my broadside from two sides. I can just take it easy with this London here, because no matter what I do, he is going to die, no matter what. The only question is, am I going to get my Kraken from this guy here, or will the Arizona pick him off at 1% health? And I'm sure you already know what's going to happen here, because I don't get a Kraken in this game. So Surrey, is it a good Agile cruiser? Yes, it is. It's actually quite good, and I think I haven't really paid enough attention to this ship here, because I just love Albemarle so much. But actually Surrey is very, very good as well. So if you want to try out one of the most agile cruisers in the game, but you don't want to grind your the whole way to tier 7 to do it, then Surrey is a great example. You can also of course buy a premium ship outright and then do it that way, or buy a tier 5 Exeter and pop an agile commander on that, and you can try it as well there. But like I said, Surrey is a very good candidate, and it's probably the best agile cruiser at tier 6, I think. And like I said before, I'm guilty of not really paying enough attention to this ship here, which is a bit of a shame. And I'll be sure to rectify that in the future. I mean, I feel like a used car salesman here trying to to make someone buy the Surrey, but trust me, it really is a very nice agile cruiser, and it does all the agile cruiser things except for the fact that it's slow. So you really have to keep that in mind. If you have to rush a cap, it can be quite difficult in this ship, because it's just so slow, so you will get spotted usually before you actually get into somewhere where you can slide into cover or anything like that, due to the fact that you can't really outrun destroyers in the ship. See here, I'm going 32 something knots, and that's just it's a bit low. But this is tier 6, but I mean the destroyers are still fast, so it is a bit of a handicap, but it's the only handicap this ship has. Other than that, it's a great ship, and I'm really starting to suddenly really like this ship here. So that was a Surrey battle for you guys, and an Agile Surrey, that is, and 2500 XP, or almost anyway. And I just realized we had an AFK Nagato. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and see you out there.